How you doing tonight, Professor? Go ahead and give you let you come on up here and speak. What's going on, Professor?
Yeah, what's going on, brother, man? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good, bro. I'm glad to be here. How you doing tonight, man?
Hey, man, same here, man. Another day to bless this space, man, and another day to spread information to our people. Another day just to be in here with the camaraderie of unity, hope, love, prosperity, and another day to try to get those reparations.
As always, brother, as always, and that's going to be part of the discussion tonight because we're going to talk about Dr. Umar Johnson and what he said about reparations. How you doing, NY? We're going to be starting this up shortly, man. I want to talk about this CadenSmith cat as well, too. White cat, 18 years old, killed 3 black people allegedly, and and your boy here is out on bond, just got arrested. So we're going to discuss that as well tonight. We're going to talk about Stephen A. Smith and his defense of Jerry Jones. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about quite a few things tonight, man. We're gonna have a space, jumping like we always do. We always have great conversations. So I want to thank you for coming up into this. Professor's always tweeting out the spaces as well too. We're gonna let some of our people come up in here. I sent the DMs around about 7:40, so our people will let them start to slowly filter in before we actually start to jump into the actual topic for the night. But yeah, man, we got quite we got a nice little plate on the table tonight that we want to go ahead and let everybody get a piece, a slice of. So I can't wait to hear everybody's opinion on this cat, Caden Smith, Stephen A. Smith, Jerry Jones, and Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar says some stuff, man. I just, I just had a hard time wrapping my head around. Like, you say you support reparations and stuff, at the same time, basically you're saying that black people is this and that and yada 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 yada. So I just kind of want to hear everybody's opinion and thought about that.
Hey, I definitely want to see what everybody gonna say on that one, and of course with this young man, Caden Smith.
Oh yeah.
Which by the way is another part of what we call white privilege, man. Once again, the Caucasoids always get a pass, and this is what we are sick and tired of looking at every day in Black America.
This joker, not to cut you off, Professor, this joker got a major pass. You done allegedly killed 3 black men and your ass walking around on the streets right now. So, and you just got arrested for some minor stuff that you shouldn't even had no damn bond and whatnot. But like you say, the court system and everybody else protects these boys and stuff like that.
Yes, they do. And this is the hypocrisy of America. It's where you have white folks, white men in particular, who commit crimes, and pretty much they get a pass or they go get a cheeseburger from Burger King for killing somebody black, or hell, even killing another minority. They get a pass. These folks don't get locked up, and even if you do lock them up, it's only for a little bit of time. Like what, you give them 4 years, 5 years, and they don't murder somebody black or somebody Hispanic or whatever. This is what we do in America, man. It's the hypocrisy that we see daily, and this is why we got to find a way to get from under this systemic racism or this white systemic system that has been set up to benefit just them, of course.
Absolutely, brother. I definitely agree with you 100% on that. Numbi, what's going on? I see you up in the spot as well tonight. Like I said, we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna let some people start to flow up in here before we actually get deep into this discussion tonight. It's gonna be about Caden Smith, as they always say, suspected white supremacist. You got Stephen A. Smith, everybody's favorite. They consider bootlick on sports TV. Then you got Jerry Jones, and you got the whole Dr. Umar situation and stuff like that. Like I say, Dr. Umar is an intelligent man. It's things that Dr. Umar says that I agree with, but I just think that Dr. Umar, I don't know, I would say that he worded what he was saying. He didn't word it properly, but then, I can't say that because he gave examples and he basically was breaking down why it's almost like, hey, you shouldn't get reparations because X X X X X X X. And my only thing was, would you sit up here and would you tell some of these other groups and stuff who got special set asides for themselves, whether you want to call it reparations or whatever, would you tell these people that, you know, your group has too many issues and stuff for you to get that? Would you tell the Indians like, well, hey man, we're not gonna give y'all a casino because y'all already out there drunk and this and that or whatever, so you don't need no casino with gambling on there and more alcohol and stuff like that, because you know all it's gonna do is mess y'all up further. You got to get your mind right, get your mind straight before you actually go ahead and give you dollars. So I was kind of thrown off by what Dr. Umar said on that, man. I just was like, come on, man, like I you got to be better than that, Dr. Umar. Like you say, you support reparations and this and that, but then at the same time, you're giving 1,000,001 reasons why you don't think Black Americans deserve it, and you're saying that we already got $2 trillion and we are spending money and we ain't doing nothing like that. Having the money to go out there and spend it, you know, because we part of a capitalistic society and whatnot, is different than actually having that in reserves and able to go out there and actually, you know, purchase things that, you know, a lot of times we have money that we have to spend. People think that it's always about the retail issues and stuff like that. Oh, they're just buying TV, big screen TVs, and they just buying this and they buying that. But a lot of times, and everybody knows in this space, you're using money either for your rent or your mortgage, for your utility bills, for food and this and that. So yeah, you may spend money on clothes and shoes and things of that nature. You may go out and go get something to eat, take the family out to get something to eat like that. But all of this just, you know, and it's not to say we don't have brothers and sisters that don't have just crazy spending habits and stuff like that, but most of the time we spend money because, you know, we have no choice. We have to go ahead, and the bare necessities in life we have to go ahead and take care. We got to take care. If you got a car note, you got car insurance. Your kids may be in after school programs. I mean, just certain things that you actually have to set dollars aside and stuff like that. It's just not this all like, yo, our $2 trillion or almost $2 trillion. I think it's at 1.7, 1.8. All of that's not going to just splurging on things and stuff like that. So we kind of got to get away from that mindset that, yeah, we are wasteful people in this and that, because, you know, we were brought up to be a wasteful people. And not only that, but we waste things on things that are necessities, that we have to have a place to live at. We have to have food in our stomach. You know, you may have to have daycare and this and all these other things. You got to have clothes. You got to have this and that. So, you know, I'm not saying that going out there, yeah, you got to have shoes to put on. I'm not saying spending $150 for a pair of shoes and this and that, and you got 3, 4 kids and stuff like that is a wise thing to do. But I just think sometimes we get burnt under this whole thing that Black people just waste every dollar they get and this and that. No, Black people, man, they trying to stay alive and stay afloat. Black people sometimes have to spend that money they got because that's the only alternative they have. They don't have the access. They don't have the means to have these major saving accounts and stuff like that, where they got $100K in the saving account and this and that, like, because that's just not realistic, man. That's just not the way life has been for us over here. A lot of times it takes, unfortunately, a death of a family member to actually get a chance to get actual wealth passed down to us. So it just, you know, that's just something that we need to think of, man. People they just be going off and talk about all of this and that. Shout out to the co-hosts Ray and DJ. How y'all doing tonight, man?
Sure, brother. How you doing is the question.
Yeah, man, I'm making it, man. I'm making it. You know, I had some family issues last night and stuff like that, doing the caretaker thing, and I had to go ahead and try to get up there as quick as possible and take care of some family. But, you know, I'm back for the night and stuff, and I'm glad all you guys came through in the space last night. Was having a good space. You know, just unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, bigger issues arose, and I had to go ahead and take care of that. But thank you guys for coming through, supporting it on the Sunday night or whatever. And DJ had that space going on. I believe DJ had the space going on for 14 hours, and y'all had a great space. Yeah, man, y'all built off of what we had going, and y'all just took it to another level.
DJ be doing marathon spaces. Yeah, he do, man. He very good at the marathon spaces. I stay in as long as I can, but I have to eventually drop out. You know.
Oh yeah, man.
You can't hang with y'all boys. You know what I'm saying? I can't hang with y'all, bro. I'll tell you quick. I can't hang, bro. It's 9:30. I can't hang no more. Word up, man. Hey, I know, right? That I can't. You know, I had dropped out for a little while, and then, of course, Sister Villa had messaged me and said that one of the trolls, of course, you know our favorite troll, Newstoter, that comes up in here sometime. She made her way into the space last night.
Who was that?
Sister Victorious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. to that space, and she was being.
I forgot about that one last night because that was like an episode within an episode. You know what I'm saying? Within a space. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she was being really loud last night. She was cutting up a little bit.
You say Sister who now? Who was that?
Sister Victorious.
When it rains.
Okay, well, okay, that's who. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but you know she goes by multiple names, man. Cause I think she may also be that other one too, named Mimi. So.
Yeah, we got some characters that be coming up in these spaces and whatnot, man. And like I say, for everybody coming in the room, y'all, we're gonna be talking about this dude, CadenSmith. CadenSmith is an 18-year-old white dude that has allegedly killed 3 black men, and he's out. He's out free walking around. So this dude has killed 3 allegedly black men. He's out free. He had a free bond. He just got arrested for smoking weed and being in a place with guns and stuff like that. So you see just the nonsense going on because there's no black man in this planet. I don't give a damn how much money you got. I don't care if you're a trillionaire. There's no black man that's going to allegedly have killed 3 white men and have his ass with a money-free bond walking the street. It's just that's not happening, period. You got it, Ray.
You already know how it goes. He's 18 and he allegedly killed 3 black people, but Emmett Till was a man at 14. Can somebody explain that how that goes to me? I'm grabbing my head right now. That's not privilege. I don't know what is. The dude has allegedly killed 3 people, and y'all don't deem him to be a threat to the community. You still let him out, and then he goes and does this. Somebody needs to pay that. The judge needs to retire. Something needs to happen because I just landed. I can round on. Go ahead.
Oh, there's no issue, man. And I'm with you. And matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead as we got people coming in. I'm gonna go ahead and touch up on this story right here, so we can go ahead and get to the Stephen A, the Jerry Jones, the Dr. Umar. I'm gonna have DJ play just a little small clip. I know y'all heard Dr. Umar going in on reparations and black people, and you got to be this and you got to be that and this and that, yada 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 yada, like moving the goalposts back, talking about what you got to be and all this other stuff. So we're gonna hit up on all of this, but this CadenSmith, this dude right here, I want to go ahead and lead that off so we can go ahead and just get into the other topics as well too. Y'all know once we go ahead and we go in, you're more than welcome to just move around to any topic that you want, but I want to go ahead and start it up as we have people that's coming in. Go ahead and tweet the spaces out. Please go ahead and tweet the space out if you could. That would be a great help. And let me go ahead and jump on this first story I want to talk about. This from Black Sports Online. So let me go ahead real quick and get on this. Yeah, and this is from Black Sports Online, curator on the Newstoter.com platform. And it's also in the Jumbotron, y'all. If y'all look up in the Jumbotron, y'all can also see it as well, too. It says CadenSmith, who was arrested for murdering 3 black men, is back in jail after being released on bond. And let's start off. I'm very sure if a black man were arrested for killing 3 white people, there would be no judge on earth that would let him out on bond. This is America, though, where if you're white and accused of triple murder, you can roam free like you did nothing. I'm not surprised that he could continue his life as if nothing happened. Accused triple killer CadenSmith turned 18 last Wednesday morning. So this joker just turned 18 and celebrated with a female friend in his brother's house, where Indy police detectives served a search warrant and claimed they found marijuana, ammunition, and 4 guns. Smith was out on bond at the time wearing a GPS monitor on his ankle and free pending trial because his attorney convinced a judge the search warrant linking him to the murder weapon was deficient. She threw out the evidence, the prosecutor appealed, and now a higher court will need to rule. The teenager is now back inside the Marion County Adult Detention Center, facing a Wednesday hearing and charges of dealing marijuana, visiting a common nuisance, invasion of privacy, and violating his pre-trial release conditions. The mother of one of Smith's alleged victims says she expected the accused killer would soon be back in jail after his release last month. I'm not surprised at all. This is what I expected because CadenSmith is clearly a criminal, said Gladys Larson, whose son, Michael James Jr., 22, was found shot to death in a secluded area near the 4400 block of South Meridian Street. He is definitely someone who should remain in Marion County Jail. IMPD homicide detectives charged that James Joseph Thomas, 18, and Abdullah Barak, 17, were killed over the course of 2 nights back in October 2021 as they met Smith to look at or buy a gun. Investigators say they later found that gun in the search of the relative's home where Smith was staying on West Thompson Road across I-465 from the murder scenes. Gladys Larson recently spent her second birthday and Thanksgiving without her son and thinks Smith is to blame. He was actually released on GPS to go home with his family for the holidays. And my son, Michael James, Joseph Thomas, and Abdullah Mubarak are no longer here. And Caden Smith decides to go on his birthday and hang out somewhere where there are guns and drugs. So, yes, he is definitely someone who should remain in the Marion County Jail. The justice system just isn't for everyone. Oh, heartbreaking story. And our prayers go out to that family. I'm sorry to hear such a tragedy. Once again, a travesty of justice as well, too. This boy sitting up here walking around scot-free. He's hanging out in a place full of drugs and guns and everything else. His ass just had a GPS monitor on his ankle. That's all he had after allegedly killing 3 people. So only in the American judicial system can you see this kind of thing go on, because there's no way. And he just turned 18. So I mean, like you said, as a minor and this and that, when you're black and you're minor like that, you're already his ass would have been in prison with grown hardened criminals. He wouldn't have been in no detention center or anything like that. He would have been up there if he was 17 and he was charged with killing, or he was suspected of killing 3 other people. He'd be away. He'd be away right now. He'd be tried as an adult, and his picture would have been all over the newspaper as well too, because he got tried as an adult. So that just goes to show you the actual hypocrisy that goes along with the judicial system here in America. And his mother's right. I mean, if this kid gets out again, he's going to be into something else. If he somehow manages to skate away from these 3 homicides that he's allegedly taken part in, and if he goes ahead and he skates away with the actual gun and the ammunition and everything else that he was in this place here, he'll find something else to get in jail with. So don't be surprised if this becomes as this story continues to develop or whatever, and Fox News and the rest of these right-wing media sources and stuff get a hold to it, that if they don't make him into the next Kyle Rittenhouse, and they'll find a story to fit him and talk about it was self-defense and this and that, and he's not a bad kid, and they'll scrub his social media, they'll change his records around and this and that. They'll give you all of the appearance. This incident here where he was with the people and he got caught with the guns and this and that, they'll just say he was just hanging out, just having a good old time. And unfortunately, there was guns in the house, but the guns were registered as well too. The marijuana, probably they'll say that the marijuana was what do you call it? Medical marijuana. So they'll find a way to go ahead and sweep this clean as much as possible. Ray, DJ, Professor, and y'all want to go in on this, or y'all want to go ahead and get to the Dr. Umar as well?
Man. Yeah, Dr. Umar. Yeah, bro, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Dr. Umar been on some bullshit. He's also very funny, man. I gotta ask the family, man. Did y'all see what Dr. Umar said that if a white person, he called a white person that was mixed with Asian a snow dragon?
Yeah, I heard something like that. Like, yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I heard him say something like that. I think I saw it on Twitter or something like that. People was going in talking about how racist he was and this and that and things like that. So Umar, like I said, you catch him on the right day, he's gonna talk some noise and whatnot. That's why I think a lot of us was kind of, and I guess some people say, well, it didn't surprise me. Umar's a Pan-African. Umar only thinks about if all of the diaspora can't get reparations and nobody deserves it or whatever. But I was kind of thrown back on his stance, how he talked about actual Black Americans and stuff, and what we need to do and this and that, and basically saying that we got mental issues and we can't do this, we can't do that, we don't have the actual systems in place. I guess we don't have the banking and this and that or whatever, so why give us the money? Because it's just going to be a waste of time. It's going to go back into the hands of the other people. I'm like, what in the hell? What in the hell?
The hell with that Negro.
What the hell are you talking about?
Where all of the damn diaspora fucking states in America was just us.
I mean, really though.
It's been 200-300 years. Them niggas still ain't came over here. They just sent one vote, nothing to come up with.
Exactly. It was always us looking out for everybody else, man, including them. It's always in Black America, always pandering to every goddamn body else, and it makes me sick to my stomach. Sick. I'm talking about this sick to my damn black ass stomach.
And isn't he Cuban?
That's what people saying. That's what people saying that, you know, they're saying a certain part of his family might be Cuban or whatever. I'm not entirely sure. Look, real quick, I see my girl Black Native. I got her hand up. Black Native, you done changed your profile on me once again. So go ahead, sister, unmute your mic.
I'm back to my own self again. But look, Dr. Umar need to shut up. First of all, FDMG still ain't been open since 2019. This man has collected, he got reparations. He's collected $3 million from black people, and the school still hasn't been opened up yet. So he already got his reparations. He was taking trips to Japan, chilling in jacuzzis. He's going out to eat to, these fine dining restaurants. So he got his reparations already. Well, when he opened up that school and actually get a website, because they don't even have a website for the school yet. When he does that, then he could open up his mouth and even we don't even care about his opinion, but then he could say something about reparation because he collected almost $3 million from black people, and he's still collecting it. The feds put him on a list and told him, as far as charity, that he cannot collect not one more dime for FDMG Academy, but he's still doing it anyway. Now, he almost got me. I knew Dr. Umar personally around 2011 when I was living in Virginia. He was talking about a school since 2009. He was in Virginia looking at schools, and he said he only wanted black people to teach. I sent him my resume. We had conversations on the phone. I'm glad that I didn't donate because nothing ever came out of it. That was in 2011. 2022, we still waiting for him to open up the school. But he's gotten all this money. So he needs to be questioned, like, what did you do with the money? Because the school is still sitting there vacant. Holes in the wall, no electricity. Yeah, I don't take him seriously anymore. I don't take him seriously. And that white boy, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. The judge, well, we already know how white supremacy operates in this country, so I'm not shocked. They kept it on the low. They didn't publicize that they let a person who murdered 3 black people leave for the holidays, and then he gets busted in a drug house. The judge needs to step the fuck down. This is the first time I'm hearing about it, so I went into the Jumbotron and read the article. And Stephen A. Smith, been a coon, tired of him. He's been a coon for the past, 15 years? He's been doing coon shit. And so he's just keeping up with what he normally does. I remember he said, I wake up every morning and I think about how I'm going to make the white man money. Y'all remember when he said that?
I do remember that.
So this is who we dealing with, that mind. And he's a tether. So, these people are a problem to our community. These people who have taken on Black American identity and has gotten rich from it, actually, but it only benefits them. And I'm going to land my plane. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. And I appreciate that you went into Jumbotron. You actually read that article. Like, yeah, it came on the platform today, so I had to go ahead and put that out just so the people could see, so everybody could see the hypocrisy. Because if you told another white person this on the street that what happened and how this boy was out and this and that, they'll tell you that you was lying and that was impossible and that you're just making stuff up and you're pulling the race card. But when you actually can actually show this, like, oh well, yeah, like there's really no explanation for this. And like I said, this Joker got out for the holiday. Joker just turned 18. If he was black and he had been allegedly had killed 3 people or whatever, allegedly his ass would be tried as an adult. No ifs, ands, and buts about that. His face would be blasted on the TV and he'd be tried as an adult. He would not have been no damn juvenile detention holding center, nothing like that. He'd be in there with grown, hardened criminals. Okay, he'd be in there with people that were lifers and stuff like that. His ass would already, if he wasn't convicted, he'd be on the way to being convicted. So Shout out to you, brother McCoo, too, for your contribution on Cash App, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We got Volvo, we got Ray. Any of the speakers that want to speak, just go ahead and throw your hand up, and we're gonna get to y'all. Y'all go ahead and tweet the space out. Yeah, we going in tonight. We going in on CadenSmith. This dude up here cutting the fool. He done killed allegedly. I keep saying allegedly murdered 3 black men. Joker, 18 years old, just turned 18, and was walking around scot-free with a damn Jeep. How the hell can you? Okay, this is something else. How in the hell can you allegedly kill 3 people and your ass got a GPS monitor on your damn leg? Let me go ahead and give it to Volvo, and I'm gonna switch it to Brother McCoo, and then I'm gonna get to you, Ray, because somebody explained this to me.
Yeah, I want to say thanks for letting me speak, brother. Can y'all hear me? Because I got a new headset.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah. This is my first time hearing about this CadenSmith guy, and I appreciate your work for bringing this stuff to our attention. You saying that he got a house arrest monitor?
Yeah, basically.
Now this shit just becoming comical. I mean, like, come on now, like I had got pulled over, right, and I had a gun in the car, right. I'm not a felon or nothing, but they said I handled it. I got charged with improper handling of a motor vehicle. Improper handling of a firearm in a motor vehicle, right? They didn't want to give me bond for a whole month. I had to sit in jail for a whole month. Then when I got out, then they gave me house arrest and 45 days in jail. And you mean to tell me this man killed three people?
I just want to say allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Okay, yeah. I know you gotta say allegedly. I'm saying the fact that he was charged with it. Everything is alleged until you get convicted. You know what I mean? I got people in jail right now that's in jail for simple drug charges with no bond. No bond. They gotta wait until they go to court. They have no bond. Literally, in 2022, there's people in jail with drug charges that have no bond. They can't even find out for holiday.
What was the name of the black dude that they put no bond and he wound up committing suicide? Brawler or something like that for stealing a knapsack?
I can hear him. Ali Brower, rest in peace to him. Oh yeah, in New York, yeah. I remember that case. Yeah. But yeah, I want to say, bro. I mean, like at this point, this shit is becoming comical. Like this shit ain't even like everybody can see this shit now. Like these people really, they really are on code with that white supremacy shit. Like I don't even know how we can back that. Like I mean, like, cause I just don't know how we can bat it. Let's wait for more information to come out for me to to go all the way. As far as the Umar Johnson thing is concerned, I've been having conversations with these people online for like the last 6 years, these Pan-Africanists and all that, right? Nobody's got a plan. It was one Pan-African guy that had a real plan. I don't want to bring his name up because I don't want to steal the conversation nowhere else. But he was the only one with the plan and that put the plan in action. As far as Umar Johnson is concerned, he has no plan. It's just I'm the Prince of Pan-African this, these African this and African that. But what's the plan though? He has no plan. None of them have any plan. That's how you knock down their whole argument. Ask them what's the plan. None of them have any plan. They're gonna start babbling. This man been trying to get this school up and running, right? Now this is a smart man. We can't deny that. But he's not business savvy. You feel what I'm saying? It's always got to be a donation. You know what I'm saying? And my father told me before he died, he said some shit that stuck with me. I was helping my cousin with something. He told me, don't help him. Because he said somebody that always need help is going to always need help. Umar Johnson going to always need a donation. Why not take the money that was donated, start a business with it, and then let the profits from the business fund the school? That sounds simple enough, right? Do anybody disagree with that?
Well,
I ain't even. That's a rhetorical. Go ahead, brother.
I was gonna say the only thing. Oh, you said it was rhetorical. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, that's rhetorical because I know nobody would disagree with that. Take the money take the donation money, start a business, start something, open up some gas stations and stores around the school, and let the community know that when you come and spend the money here, it's going to pay for the school. We can also, accept tuition and all that, and then open the school up. He's not business savvy. He's not business savvy, so it's all a hoax and a joke. He gonna when he get it open, he gonna need more money. He gonna be panhandling some more. So them Pan Africanists, if they don't got no real plan, they full of shit. It's all grandiose. Thank you for letting me speak, brother.
No problem. No problem, brother. Let me go ahead and get to brother McCool. I'm gonna get to Ray. I'm gonna get to Black Native. Brother McCool, what's going on tonight? How you doing tonight, brother?
Oh man, doing great. Feeling with my hands and my feet.
How's that baby?
The baby, I'm about to go. Me and the wife about to go feed her now. Man, I had to agree with Volvo, man. You know, Marcus Garvey had the same problem. You know, how you gonna get a steamship operation and you don't know nothing about steamships? You know what I'm saying? But you try to do it all yourself. You know what I'm saying? Get some people that know how to do that shit and get them to do it. Umar been working on this school for the better half of 10 years now. You know what I'm saying? Here you got LeBron James that opened up a school. You done got clowns that did all types of movements that are pointless, some that aren't pointless. And now Umar is still in the same damn boat. I was always feeling kind of funny about Umar because, you know, he's going to get the school started. Stop talking. You know, you're talking a lot.
Hey, brother Moko, what's that brother's name down in Georgia? I think his name is King something. Damn, what's his name, yo? He even got a school teaching strictly about black boy, and he got a school. And right. In the neighborhood, love that man. Everybody know about. I'm gonna look him up. Go ahead.
Oh, you talking about the young cat? Young cat, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah, younger dude.
Yeah.
King something, yo.
Yeah, King. He died too, didn't he?
No, I think he's still alive.
No, actually the police was at his school trying to harass him.
I heard the police. I thought he got shot or something like that. You know, that's always the story for black successful men, always getting shot by these race soldiers. But yeah. So just to go back, Stephen A. Smith, man, he always been a coon. I ain't watched football or no basketball because of him in the past 15. Well, close to 15 years, so I couldn't tell you nothing about NBA, NFL, none of that crap. I don't follow none of that crap because all these bootlicks in that era, in this, I ain't gonna say all because you know I mess with Kyrie, I mess with Cube, I mess with all the dudes that play in the Big Three, you know, because to me, them athletes said, you know, fuck the NBA, fuck it, you know, I'm going with my man. You know, which we should do. We gonna play in any sports. Let it be real sports, not entertainment. Big Three ain't under no entertainment law like the NFL and the NBA and all that. You know what I'm saying? These guys, that's entertainment. You can't, you know, Cube got real sports going on. You know what I'm saying? Where you don't know who's gonna beat. It's not scripted like the NFL and the NBA and all that. And I know there's some cats in here that go hard for the sports, and I'm sorry if I'm stepping on your toes or offending you, but you know, it's not about y'all. It's about these corporations that's raping y'all and raping us. You know what I'm saying? Fuck NBA, fuck all sports. You know, they took the place of lynching. I'm standing 10 toes down on that, and you know, you took the place of lynching, so to me, you're lynching. Now, take it to the white boy. This is just white supremacy at its best. You know what I'm saying? You know, they get these white boys the license to kill. Professor Black Truth just dropped science on the crime report about this white boy that ran over a black lady, 2014. And fortunately, he got convicted twice. You know, these race soldiers and these white supremacists, we just have to be full-fledged, on guard. We have to all stay on code. And what I mean by stay on code, I'm going to be real specific. We have to suspect, not accuse, but suspect every goddamn white person. Okay? I don't care if they're your friend, you grew up with them since you was in diapers. I don't care. Every day they got to prove to you that they not racist and they don't practice white supremacy. And it's synonymous. We got to stop treating this shit like racism and white supremacy is two different things. Bro, this is what happens. CadenSmith walking on the street after murdering 3 black niggas. That's what it's about, allegedly. So I'll land right there, man. Let's just stay on code and start suspecting, man. We gotta start acting like victims. You know, I know people don't like calling themselves victims, but you know, it is what it is. We're not in a supreme position here, not anywhere. I'm in Baltimore. I don't even know where Volvo at, but I bet you I'll go through the same thing that he went through when they pulled me over with my firearm in the vehicle and his license. Okay, and I'm gonna carry concealed, but they will still take my black ass to jail. White, they wouldn't do that. They got white supremacists. I live in Towson. Anybody know anything about Baltimore, Towson? That's white, 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 white. And these white boys, they get pulled over every day with firearms, and they don't go to jail. I'll land there.
All right, brother. Appreciate you coming through as always. Let's go ahead and get the Ray, and then we're going to get the Black Native, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to touch up on the Stephen A. Smith and the Jerry Jones as well, too, because we want to go ahead and get on that conversation as well, too. So we're going to hit it all up tonight, y'all. So don't worry about it. If we get to one topic and you guys want to go back, as always, just raise your hand and we'll go back to that topic. Like we just have an open table conversation over here. So go ahead, Ray, Black Native, and then Volvo.
So I want to direct everyone's attention to the Jumbotron all the way in the far left. Since we're talking about Pan-Africanism and alleged people that were scamming people, I wanted to let the family know about Chief Alfred Sam, if you've never heard of him. So basically, he was a Ashanti chief from Ghana, and he tricked 60 black people to get on a ship with him called the USS Liberia. And he was telling our people, and I don't really believe they fell for this shit, that that when it rained in Africa, there were just diamonds lying on the ground, that they had trees that produced bread and sugar cane that was large as stovepipes. And he basically tricked our people, and they sold all their possessions and supported him, and they put all their life's work, all their money into this guy, only for him to get them on that ship. And they went to, I forget what part of Africa it was. And then the native people there, they kind of welcomed them at first, but then they were hostile to him. Same people ended up dying.
Real talk, Ray. Appreciate that little history lesson right there.
I think that was Liberia, brother Ray, and you're absolutely right. That's a sad thing.
Let's go ahead and kick it to Black Native, then we're going to kick it to Volvo. Then after that, I want to touch up after Volvo. I want to go ahead and touch up real quick on the Jerry Jones thing. And also, DJ, you get a chance, I want you to play that quick little video so everybody can hear it was a really quick video with Dr. Umar going in. So Black Native, go ahead and unmute your mic, sister. Make sure y'all in the Jumbotron, we got quite a bit of stuff up here now, but in the Jumbotron, we got the actual YouTube channel on there. I'm not sure where it's at because we got a lot of stuff in there, but you guys make sure you subscribe to the Newstoter YouTube channel as well, too. We're trying to close to hitting 500 subs on there. We need to go ahead and get that thing up. So I think I'm around about $4.99. So we need to go ahead and get 5. If everybody in here goes ahead and sub, we can easily get that. Also, this story about CadenSmith, we want to get things to go viral. It's up in the Jumbotron too. It should be on the far right-hand side. So you guys, the first one on the far right side, CadenSmith, y'all go ahead and retweet that out so we can go ahead and try to get some coverage about what's going on in this as well too. So Black Native, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hold on a second. Sorry. Got that janky phone, sis. Hey, the YouTube is in the Jumbotron too. I posted it in there. It's in the middle dot. Go ahead, Black Native.
Okay, DJ, I know my phone is janky, right? My iPhone is, can you hear me? I know they said it's an echo.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I don't even want to come on any spaces anymore because of this phone. Yeah, I just wanted to let you all know that the Buffalo shooter think it was today, was brought into trial today. They said suspected. We ain't suspecting shit, okay? But that's what they said. The suspected shooter who shot 10 people. They didn't say black people. They didn't say a hate crime. This was like a little news clip I saw. I think it was ABC News on YouTube. And I'm going to go ahead and subscribe to your YouTube channel, Newstoter. Probably do it in a couple of minutes. Yeah, so he's been, he went to his first, I guess, arraignment, and he was supposed to go last week in Buffalo, but they said due to the snowstorm, they postponed it. So we need to watch that trial, because if they let this white boy go, this is another Kyle Rittenhouse. They're blatant with it. What's the dude right here with the big nose? What's your name again? Okay, this is not Vova Rant. Like Vova Rant said, they're just up in our face with it. They ain't trying to hide it. They like, look, niggas, we don't care what you think. We're going to show you how much power you have and how much power we have. We're just going to let this guy go on vacation, go visit his family after he killed 3 black people. So, I'm going to go ahead and retweet that. Now, if I could speak on Jerry Jones, I didn't know who this man was until Professor had told me who he was. But then when he said he was the owner of the Cowboys, and somehow somebody found the picture of him, it was like 60 years ago, when he was down with the white mob trying to stop our people from getting an education, and Stephen A. Smith told me he felt sorry for him. This man is a fucking billionaire. What are you feeling sorry for this rich white man for, who's still probably racist? You know what I'm saying? Leopard don't change his stripes or spots or whatever. He's probably still a racist. He got a whole bunch of black men making him money. You know what I'm saying? Over there doing like some slave shit. So I don't respect Stephen A. Smith. That old white man could go jump off a cliff. I hope that you don't get kicked off Twitter because I said that. But I don't get why Stephen A. Smith feels that he always has to come to the defense of rich white people. I don't understand that. I don't know why we continue to watch his show. What is he on? ESPN? Is that the channel he's on?
Yep.
Why do we continue to support this freaking coon? Like we got to get rid of these coons. That's all I want to say. I'm landing my plane.
Yeah, he's on ESPN. I used to watch him back in the day, but I just, even before like he started like doing the serious, like the cooning and stuff, I stepped away just because his voice is just so annoying. It's just constantly screaming and just trying to get ratings and stuff like that. So I had to kind of long time, had to step away from Stephen A. I'll see him every now and then. I'll laugh or whatever, but I just couldn't constantly like his little gimmick, and he always has to be loud and obnoxious and stuff like that. So I just kind of had to step away from Stephen A. myself personally. But whenever it's certain of these athletes and stuff, when it comes time to speak and stuff like that, like they're always on the polar opposite. Like they're always going against everything else. So it's not really surprising with Stephen A. at all. Just to let you know or whatever. So I've been had to stop listening to Stephen A. I used to, in the early 2000s, I used to listen to him. Like I used to think he was funny, like his little gimmick and whatnot. And after a while, I'm like, oh man, I just can't take hearing all this screaming the whole time. Like it just became just nerve wracking to me. But a lot of people like it. He's one of ESPN's highest rated sports people on there. So they paying big dollars to keep him on there because he apparently he brings in viewership. So they like him. So I'll give him that. Volvo, we're going to let you go ahead. And then Brother McCool, before we get to you, I'm going to go ahead and touch up on the Stephen A. article real quick. But Volvo, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, I'll just go after you do the article because that's what I want to speak about, if that's okay, bro.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Y'all, let me go ahead and touch up on this article real quick. And then, Volvo, I'm going to throw it right back to you. So it's a real quick article. It's from Black Sports Online as well, too. So let another one of our curation partners, Black Sports Online. It's titled Stephen A. Smith defends Jerry Jones being in photos protesting black students entering a high school in Arkansas. That's also in the Jumbotron, too. That should be on the far right side. It should be the second one in case you guys want to take a look at that. You want to retweet it out. It says, it is odd to see a black man say he is pissed off about something racist a white man did in his teens. Why would that make you mad? I understand trying to tell both sides of the story, but why would showing someone's history upset you? Stephen A. Smith was furious that this old photo of Jerry Jones at a protest not allowing black kids in the school had surfaced. On the first day of classes at North Little Rock High, a crew-cut sophomore named Gerald Wayne Jones found his spot among a group of white boys who stood at the front entrance and blocked the path of 6 black students attempting to desegregate the school. In a photograph taken at the scene, Jones could be seen standing a few yards away where the 6 black students were being jostled and repelled with snarling racial slurs by ringleaders of the mob. At one point, a black student named Richard Lindsay recalled someone in the crowd put a hand on the back of his neck. A voice behind him said, "I want to see how a nigga feels." The ruffian hostility succeeded in turning away the would-be new enrollees. The confrontation occurred 65 years ago on September 9th, 1957, during the same month that a higher profile integration effort was taking place at Little Rock Central in the capital city a few miles away. Jones said he was only there to watch, not to participate. I don't know that I or anybody anticipated or had a background of knowing what was involved. It was more a curious thing, he said. Are there a lot of older white men in our country that have probably done things they aren't proud of in their teens? I imagine many people, especially those born in the South like Jones, do they feel the same about black people as they did now back in their youth? You'd have to ask them. One thing Smith said is 100% wrong and something you hear many people tell that cover up their prejudicial actions. Smith said a lot of black players support Jones, and Jones employs a lot of black people. That is, I have a black friend defense. I hope Jones doesn't feel the same way as he did back in 1957 as he does now. Hold on one second. But we have to consider his actions on a higher level. He threatened players who kneeled against racism and police brutality. He's a Trump supporter. He has never hired a black coach and has rarely had black people in positions of power with the Cowboys. So even if he isn't carrying torches around, his actions are still in place to keep the status quo as it is. And that, frankly, is no different than it was happening back in 1957. So just a really quick article, y'all. Go ahead and let you, Vovo, touch up on that real quick as well, too. So got Vovo, then we're going to go to Brother McCool. Then we're going to get back to Black Native and Ray as well, too. So go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say, man, Stephen A. Smith is real cool. He is cool, man. Yeah, man, this point is becoming comical. This shit is really funny at this point, man. Like, these people, like, I mean, it's just ridiculous. But let me ask y'all this. Is we surprised that Jerry Jones was caught at a, what is it? It was the damn near Klan rally, almost lynching. Like,
segregationist rally.
Huh?
A segregationist rally.
A segregation, all right, yeah. Are we some racist white shit? Are we surprised that this old ass man, this old rich white man, was caught doing that?
Not in the least bit. Not in the least bit.
Huh?
Say, I'm not surprised in the least bit. He is from Arkansas. I mean, come on.
Yeah, like come on, like we seen this already. Like this the thing, right? They not really putting it in our faces. It's just the season that we in. We in a time of information. So we just seeing it. When you get the information, you get the truth. Everybody's just revealing who they are. That's it. That's what we're looking at right now. Everybody's showing us. They like that. Like we can see that they like that. We can see that everybody's telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? So it might seem like they sticking it in our faces, but they ain't doing nothing. They ain't always been doing. I appreciate you letting me speak, bro. I'm gonna drop down and listen.
No problem. And let's not forget too, Jerry Jones was also, like they said, he was one of those owners who definitely didn't hide his feelings when you had the whole thing about the kneeling and Kaepernick and everything else going on. He was one of the ones that talked about his players was going to go out there and do it. Now he came along and they did like this little BS thing one time where they were all holding hands and stuff and walking on the field, I guess, as a show of unity. But like you say, Jerry Jones is from Arkansas, from the deep South. He's in Texas or whatever. No, I mean, none of this is surprising at all to me in the least bit. So, I mean, and why Stephen A. Smith feels a need to talk about this and that, and then do the whole thing that, well, he has a bunch of black players and this and that or whatever. Yeah, if you have a professional football team, there's no football team in the NFL that doesn't have a bunch of black players. Okay, the league is 65% black, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, every team in the NFL is gonna have a bunch of black players. So that whole argument, yeah, well, he got black players that play for him and stuff. Please stop it. Shout out to Be More Codified also for your contribution on Cash App. If you guys want to support Newstoter on Cash App, it's $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest black-owned news curation platform today in America. Brother McCoo, go ahead and unmute your mic, brother.
I have to say, family, Stephen A. Smith is a classic example of bootleg. I'm definitely not surprised, but I want to pose a question to the space. How old is Jerry Jones? He's about 70, right?
No, he gotta be in his 80s. Jerry in his 80s.
About 80. He's about 80, right? How much money y'all done made this nigga? You feel me? He rich beyond his dreams. He ain't worried about none of y'all. He ain't worried about nobody pointing out him being a nigga hater. Okay? Yeah, y'all already knew this. This is something that the NFL already knew. So us pulling our panties up in a bunch over this is kind of like showing us that we cowards. You know what I'm saying? Not we, but for all the people that keep endorsing this BS NFL, this BS NBA, you just said, I know they hate niggas, but I'm still going to give my money anyway. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if we was really real about this, really real about stopping racism in sports and entertainment, we wouldn't even condone it. We wouldn't even pay our money to go see them. Okay? Now I know it's a lot of black brothers and sisters that playing on these teams, but they need to be schooled. You know what I'm saying? You playing for these owners. Is this money more important than your ancestors' blood? That's what you gotta ask yourself. That's why I stopped watching it. Because it's not more important than my ancestors' blood. Just like you see Jerry Jones at this racist thing, guess what? They used to call lynchings gatherings. Okay? So what's going to happen when we pull up a picture with one of them at these lynchings? Then what we going to do? Make excuses again? Because that's all we doing. That's all Stephen A. Smith doing. Every time you turn on an NBA game, an NFL game, you're making an excuse for why. And you already know what it's backed by. You know what I'm saying? I'll land there.
Yeah, you made a very valid point, bro. And like you said, we pretty much, I think Jerry might be about 79, pushing 80 or whatever, but you made a valid point. But here's the thing, like, I'm with you on this. Like, we pretty much know, like, Jerry Jones, who Jerry Jones is. I think the issue everybody's having is Stephen A. Like, why in the hell are you have such a hard on for this dude? Why are you coming to his aid and rescue and this and that? And I get what people say that, this photo was when he was 14 years old. This was 65 years ago and this and that or whatever. Okay, fine or whatever. But the whole thing that you throw in the argument, and I'm seeing quite a few black men on social media and stuff too. I don't know if it was Lil Duval. I think he said something like, well, 75 years ago, everybody was racist. Okay, I mean, I don't really see the point of you adding that in there or whatever. 75 years ago, everybody was racist. So I guess all of those racist people 75 years ago, there's no more racist people in the United States of America. Like, they all died from that age group. They all died. They all gone. They're no longer here. Like, so racism is gone.
Who said that?
Lil Duval, look.
When they say that, that's like they saying that like it's giving them a pass.
Hey, brother McCool, real quick. Lil Duval definitely must have been hot smoking when he said that shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, listen to what that doesn't even make sense. 75 years ago, they were being racist to us. We weren't doing anything to them. We've never done anything to them. What's up? What'd you say?
No, I said let's talk about it. Yeah, let's go.
Let's talk about it. Because what he's saying was not making logical sense.
Yeah, these entertainers. Well, y'all just need to shut the hell up. LeBron, shut up and dribble. That white woman was right. Shut up, LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Umar, shut up. Stephen A. shut up. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all don't know anything. You know what I'm saying? Well, go ahead.
And then you know what? When they try to say it like 75 years ago, everybody was racist. So what? It don't make it right. I don't even saying it like it make it right.
Can I say something? Someone said something.
Bill Cosby, what they came at Bill Cosby, what, 50 years ago? Ain't nobody say, oh, that was 50 years ago. They brought him up on charges and threw his ass in jail. So we don't care if it was 100 years ago. He did it.
Can I say something? The brother said something. I was handling some business, and the brother said something made me want to come back up. He said, "Wait till we see one of them on them lynching pictures and all that." I think we should start asking, who is the people in the lynching picture? Maybe some of them survived. Who is that? Y'all ever seen that one lynching picture where the little girl was smiling? Like, and she was like right up to the bottom.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm saying that every day. Like, yo, who
is that bitch? Like, maybe we should go on a campaign. Somebody just so we know. Like, just so we know, we get it on a human record. Who is that?
Hey, Chad, your grandmother was at a lynching rally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, Billy, your grandmother was happy to hang niggas and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Your grandmother was the little girl in the photo. Where's she at? Just so we know how many black men she fell down in front of in a store.
Well, look, y'all, we look at that. We can use this example that's look at the actual woman still to this point who still haven't been brought to justice with the whole Emmett Till thing. So we, when we actually have the actual proof and stuff like that, these white folks still don't want to go ahead and do anything. So we got her walking around here, Calvin Bryant. They're doing everything, switching her out of these retirement homes, putting her here, hiding her there. And and this lady knows damn well she was the reason why this dude got killed. This boy got killed.
And what's even crazy, she got a whole warrant.
Yeah.
Active warrant.
Yeah.
There's no, murder. You hunt it till you die. And they're just letting her just get away with everything.
Yeah, real talk.
Well, they don't have a problem when they go after the people that were the Germans, the soldiers. They don't care if they're 120. They wheel them in the court with a oxygen tank hooked around their body, and they wheel them in there and they prosecute them because there is no limitation on murder. And I've always wondered who were those people in those pictures, because that little girl's probably still alive. The other men, they probably dead, but the little kids that's in the pictures, they still alive, walking around. But a lot of white people have said that their family members, like they had one white woman who said that her family had something called a slave, a card that's a black hunting card. And then when I looked it up on Google, they had cards where they could go hunt black people. It was a hunting license for black people. And she said that her grandfather had that. So they know how they grandparents was getting down. You know what I'm saying? They all would confess that shit. So I just want to land on that.
Yeah, they still got like jars of penises and things like that. They still got stuff like that in jars. This shit is just sick and twisted.
Let me say this too, right here. I seen when she said they brought them Nazis in on a wheelchair. I seen them. There's a photo out here where they wheel one of them in court in a hospital bed. I'm talking about literally he about to die tomorrow type shit, and they wheeled his ass in there in a hospital bed. Nurses came with him and all types of shit. They got justice. What the fuck are justice?
Yeah, I was gonna speak on that real quick, dudes, because they saying we can't hold Jerry accountable, because he was 14. But how old was Samir Rice? He was 12. Emmett Till was, I think, like 14 and 15. George Stanley was 14. Trayvon was, I think, like 17 or 18. The Central Park, they were 14 and 15 years old. So I don't see how all of them, could be considered grown men. But again, Jerry Jones, always just a little boy. He didn't know any better. That was 60-some years ago. And he's alive now. He can explain himself. Why was he there? Of course, he's going to lie about it and say, he was there just looking. He was practicing white supremacy at 14 years old. And he's had, and I'm not a Cowboy fan, but I've kind of tracked, the things they've done over the years. Like back in the 90s, he didn't want to hire a black coach or whatever because there's a rule in professional football called the Rooney Rule, which I don't know if y'all have ever heard of it.
Yes, sir.
Basically, yeah, but basically the way the Rooney Rule goes is they have to at least attempt to hire to I think interview two black coaches before they can actually decide. Jerry Jones said, "Fuck it, I don't want this guy. I think it was Bill Parcells, if my memory serves me right." He was like, "Yeah, I'm not fuck the Rooney Rule. We're not interviewing no niggas. We want Bill Parcells." He went and did it too. And obviously, the whole thing with the kneeling, like this dude is the same. He hasn't changed at all, allegedly.
Real talk, real talk. I'm not sure who was a black native. I know you had your hand up, brother McCool. You had your hand up, right, brother McCool? I know he had his hand up. I know black native, and I know, but some of
Yeah, I
y'all.
had my hand up. I was just wanted to say that we can go and find out who those people are on those pictures, on those lynching pictures, but I think the result is going to be just like the Emmett Till lady curling, who they haven't convicted yet, um, and I think as long as we continue not to go after these individuals, it's never going to be any justice. Just like Bobo said, they went after Bill. Why can't they go after all these other people? It's only right. And if we don't get that, if we don't get nothing less than that, I think we should really go on a tangent, and I mean an intelligent tangent, and into getting compensatory justice for our family, because one thing for certain, two things for sure, the proof is right there. We don't have to go and speculate why they were there or you was just looking. You were accessory to murder, so you're guilty. Period. I land my plane there.
Definitely appreciate that, brother. Black native, we're gonna
Yeah,
get
that's
it.
what I'm saying. That's what we should call it, man. The series accessory to murder. Yo, there you go, brother Marco.
Hey DJ, do you have that? Because I'm gonna kick it to black native for a second, but do you have the actual audio with Umar real quick?
Yeah, 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Okay, well, black native, go ahead and unmute your mic and speak.
Yeah, that was me that brought up Bill Cosby, by the way. And it's a lot of other black people who they brought black, things from the past and accused them with and sent them to jail. So Bill Cosby wasn't the only one, but I mean his charges or his accusers were saying this happened like in the early 70s. And they brought it up and he went to jail 2018 around 2017 or 18. So that was almost like 40 something years later. So they didn't care how old it was. They didn't care about none of that. They just said, look, we're going to throw this nigga in jail. We know he's your idol. We know he's a black rich man. And he was one of the first really to try to bring down, buck break black men. So he was the main one because he was rich at the time. He was one of the richest men, black men in America at one time. Remember, he tried to buy NBC. Then his son mysteriously got murdered. But yeah, he was the first one, and then they started with everybody else. So there is no time limit when it comes to us. But with them, he was young, he was a little kid, that was so long ago. No, just like we looking at him the same way they look at us. No, he needs to be held accountable. And like you said, if he's never hired any black coaches, then yeah, he's still a racist. And I haven't watched football since Colin Kaepernick, and I just stopped watching it. So we have to come to I guess a consensus, I would say, or just say, hey, look, pride comes before everything. We can't always want to play football and basketball. Yeah, you make a lot of money, but what about your pride? You know what I'm saying? You're sitting here being examined like a slave, because I watched the documentary how they look at the teeth, how they have them stand there naked and examine their bodies, slave shit. So I mean, it comes to a point where as black men, you got to say, look, later for the money, my people come first, and that's all I want to say about that. Thank you.
You welcome, sister. I appreciate you as always. Yeah, and when they examine their bodies, they call it the combine, where they got to go in there and they got to physically test, see how much you can lift, how fast you can run. They do basically you have your shirt off, and they doing body to fat ratio and everything else. So basically, yeah, you're basically putting on the show for the actual owners and stuff like that as well, too, to see how valuable a commodity you are going to be for whichever team is picking and whatever. So yeah, it's the NFL Combine, and even the NBA has one as well too. But the NFL Combine is much bigger as well too. So, Bovo, go ahead and unmute your mic, and then DJ will kick it to you for the video.
Oh yeah, I'll go after the video.
Let me see if DJ, you got it?
I'm ready. Go ahead, mute your mics. Yeah, this is Dr. Kumar, reparations.
But don't you think that if we got reparations, that would have helped?
Let me ask you a question. The question on the table. If we get reparations, will that help us? If somebody is mentally ill in a mental asylum, mental hospital, you give him $1 million. Does it reverse the illness?
No, it don't.
Does it do anything to treat his problem?
No.
So let's take that to a community. If a community has no institutions, no way to trap the money in their community, they own none of the institutions, and you drop a couple $1 trillion in that community. How is that money going to benefit the people when all the institutions in the community that are going to take their money are not owned by people who look like them? I'm going to ask it another way. If we don't responsibly spend the money we already have,
how can we spend more?
What makes you think giving you more is going to change your situation? Now, let me say this. I want to be clear. I support reparations.
Okay.
I support it. The reparations movement was born from the Pan-Africanism. I support reparations. What I don't support is thirsty, opportunistic Negroes who are pushing for reparations externally before we have delivered reparations internally to ourselves. In other words, most of the saving that has to be done for Black people must be done by Black people, and no amount of money going to fix that.
Right.
No amount of money is going to stop the Black woman from not trusting the Black man.
Right.
No amount of money is going to make the Black man love his woman. No amount of money is going to stop Black women from frying their hair. No amount of money is going to stop Black men from dating outside the race.
Right.
When you look at our deepest rooted problems, no money can fix them.
You gotta start at the root, right?
You got to start at the root. And then once you replant your tree, now you get that reparations to decorate your branches.
Yeah. Man, but
you want to decorate your branches before you re-solidified your roots.
Man.
It's not going to work, bro.
But Dr. Umar, we 400 years behind. Imagine all that time.
The money ain't going to help you catch up. And guess what? You have enough right now. $2 trillion is more than enough right now to put yourself where you need to be. The reparations.
Okay, y'all, that's the end of that. I don't know if you want to go in title or you want me to just go play.
You know about jump on that, man.
I mean that. Before y'all go forward, man, I just gotta say this, and I'm gonna let because Volvo, we gonna go Volvo, Black Native, Ray, Brother McCoo, but that was some BS right there. Because I guarantee, like, and I think I was saying in the space earlier, or maybe I was telling DJ we was on the phone, but I guarantee you, nobody's gonna sit up here and tell a group of Native Americans like, well, it's a bunch of drinking going on those reservations. Y'all don't need no damn casinos out there. Y'all gonna be out there drunk and falling out and this. Like, what kind of stuff is this that Black people come up with, man? Like, I was just kicking. I'm Volvo. You got it.
That was funny. Right, you're absolutely right, brother. I get what he's saying. He's saying that that we gotta fix the culture first. No, I believe we gotta fix the culture too. You know what I mean? At first I didn't get where he was going, but then when he said, we need to love each other more and all that, yeah, I see what he's saying, and we do. He's right about that. But I'm not, who the fuck about to turn down some money to rebuild their community? Who gonna turn that down? What idiot would turn that down? So I get what he's saying, but shit, we need both. We need to do both, and the money would help. It would definitely help. It's the reason why they destroyed our money. They took our work.
They burn down our wealth, our towns, our cities. They sabotage us away from the wealth. So, and that's what broke up the family and all that shit. And that's what brought in the hatred and all that shit. Like, the black community wasn't no bad place to live until they sabotaged it, until they turned it into a ghetto. They broke up the neighborhood and the family and all that. I remember my mother used to always say, shit, you go to the store and get this and this for a quarter. And, you know, we used to sleep with our doors unlocked. And the neighbor down the street would beat your ass if you out there fucking up. And take you home and your mother would beat your ass and your uncle and everybody. It was a community. So they took us away from the wealth. I mean, they took us away from the unity and all that when they destroyed our communities. And now they got to rebuild it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Volvo. I understand what he was trying to say, but here's a thing here, and it's been proven too that money does help your experience with life and stuff like that. I mean, you have better health care if you have money. Okay, you have a better quality of life, and that's not to say that money is the be all end all or whatever. Because when it's your time to check out, it's your time to check out. I don't care how much damn money you got, but money does help with the quality of life. So to sit up here and say that, you know, that money's not going to help and it's not going to do anything, we got $2 trillion and this and that, you know, I just never heard that before. It's like it's always directed to black people. Whenever it's time for black people to get something, it's always like, why y'all gonna get it and this and that. I remember on the first barbershop, like Cedric the Entertainer character made a comment, and you know, back in the day, I bust open. I wouldn't know what I'm saying. I was maybe 19 or 20, whatever, when that movie came out. I can't remember, but he said something like, what black people need reparations for? So Cadillac could be the number one car dealership in the world. It's like, I mean, it's stuff like that, man. Like, people, like, who gives a damn if we make 8 Ball the number one beer in the world, whatever. It's money that's owed, and it doesn't matter what anybody else think about it, man. It just, like I said, that to what he said, that just makes no sense. They wouldn't tell any other group that. I guarantee you they wouldn't. If a bunch of Hispanics was talking about they were about to get reparations, you would hear other Hispanics in there talking about, oh yeah, well, we don't control the banks and we don't control this and we don't control that. So if we get the money, we just gonna go and waste it and this and that, and we're gonna be setting up cartels back in South America and the abuse between the husbands and wives and this and that and all this other nonsense just to stop the thing from going on, man. Like, come on, man. Like, we don't need this kind of division. I'm gonna kick it to Black Native, then I'm gonna kick it to Raid, and I'm gonna get to Brother McCool. Like, this is just, and anybody else that wants to come up and speak as well, too, man. Y'all come and request to speak. We want to hear everybody's opinion on this and whatnot. We've been covering, for those who just came in, we've been talking about CadenSmith, this white 18-year-old kid who allegedly murdered 3 black men, and this joke is out on the street with a goddamn GPS monitor on his leg. Just got arrested again for being in a house full of guns and marijuana and stuff like that, but he was out for the holidays with a damn GPS monitor on his leg. They're trying to find a way to try to screw that over so he can get up out of there. We've been talking about Jerry Jones and Stephen A. Smith, love affair with him for whatever reason. Talking about, of course, Dr. Umar. We just got through here in the tape now, so come on up here. Yeah, if y'all want to speak, please go ahead and request a mic. It's nothing but love. So, Black Native, go ahead and unmute your mic, sister.
Umar Johnson could kiss my butt. That was nothing but a bunch of psycho babble to me. He wasn't saying that when he was getting all this money, which approximately about $3 million from the black community for a school that is still not functional. He bought the buildings, but ain't no kids in the school. He ain't even put up a website. So he's a fucking hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? How dare you try to tell us that we don't deserve money or we don't know how to spend money? Black people are the most frugalist people. We know how to save money because a lot of us don't have money like that. Where I live at, in the white community, these people buy whatever the hell they want. They got the most fanciest cars. They play golf. You think they're not spending their money? They buy yachts. Come on now. Let's stop playing with us. Like, you try to say we are so dumb and we're so stupid that as soon as we get our money, we're just going to go ahead and just squander it all. I mean, you might have some people that do, but that's their business. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell people how to spend their money, especially if it's owed to us. I want to take the money and burn it. I mean, but it's just him of all people to say that when you collected over $3 billion from the you said you was going to produce, where's that money at? We need answers for that. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm starting to. This is the first time I heard that audio, and people are starting to say that he's not even a Black American. So maybe we need to look more into that for him to even come out and say that. Like you said, if Hispanics, they drink a lot. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna say, well, you people can't get money because all you're gonna do is buy cases. You're gonna buy cases of Corona, or you're gonna buy a whole 18-wheeler full of Corona. So now we can't cut you no check. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna tell nobody that. Only when it comes to Black people and our own people, self-sabotage. To sit there and talk about he's saying he's for reparations, but then he's not really. He's saying he's for it, but he's saying that we shouldn't get it because we're not mature enough to be able to handle the money when we get the money. And maybe some of us aren't, but there are a lot of us who are. There are a lot of us who are small business owners who started from nothing. You know what I'm saying? And so that money, yeah, give me my goddamn money. And if I want to buy a house, I want to buy land, I want to buy me a car, I want to travel. That's my prerogative. And I'm going to save somebody. But it's not his place to say that when he's been conning the community since 2009. And I'll land my plane on that.
All right, let me go ahead and get to Ray, and then we're gonna get to Brother McCool. DJ, I know you got something to say about this as well too. So I know you want to go ahead and let everybody get in there.
Already going off in the chat.
Hey Ray, go ahead, and then we're gonna get to Brother McCool. And then, like I say, anybody in the space, man, y'all want to come up and talk about this as well too. Don't you're amongst kinfolk up in here, come on up here and grab the mic, man. Go ahead, Ray.
I wanted to I actually really thought about what he just said, because didn't he say that the Black community has $2 trillion? Did I hear that correctly?
He's talking about the spending power that we got. Okay.
Yeah, he is technically correct, but it's kind of a trick. It's kind of a trick bag what he's saying, because the 7 richest Black people on this, just Black Americans, are Oprah, Tyler Perry, Jay-Z, Kanye, Michael Jordan. I think like Rihanna and Robert Smith, he was an investor. Those are the 7 richest Black people. They make up the vast majority of all the money we have in the community. If you take all their money away, you will see we don't have no damn $2 trillion or whatever. See, it's kind of a trick what he's saying. I get what he's saying, but it's really a trick. And what he's saying is bullshit, because he's saying, we don't have any stores. Motherfucker, we don't have any stores because we don't have any money. You can't get a fucking store without money. They're not giving stores away. It's kind of like every issue that the Black community has to be fixed with money. You're talking about how we don't have stuff, we can't get it, we don't have anything. Like it just makes no sense what he's saying.
And I tell you what, Ray, and since we got so much, go look at the Black Americans' bank account compared to everybody else, and let's see exactly how much they got in their savings account. And that right there lets you know that, yeah, what you got and what your spending power is based on your income, what you having to spend yearly and stuff like that as well, too. So, man, a lot of us don't even have the money set aside. Everything you're paying is for bills and stuff, and barely to get ahead. So most of us don't even have the money to set it aside and stuff like that. So we don't have. So I don't know what he's talking about.
We got $2 trillion. Motherfucker, I gotta get groceries. I got 3 kids. The hell you talking about? You sound ridiculous.
You got groceries, either you paying rent or mortgage, you got car insurance,
healthcare.
I mean, come on, dental care, everything else that you got to go ahead and you sitting up here talking about this like this is just like I said, that's just nonsense. Let me kick it to you, Brother McCool. Brother McCool, you there? He may be in the Matrix real quick. Let's see. Yeah, I think Brother McCool may be in. You there, Brother McCool? Yeah, can you hear us? Can you hear us? We'll come back to Brother McCool. He may be doing some daddy duties with the new baby as well, too. So shout out to that brother. We'll get back to him as well, too. So yeah, man, everybody's sitting up here like we got all this money. You back, Brother McCool? Let's check and see if Brother McCool back. I'm not sure if he back or not. It seemed like he came off his mic for a second and then he muted it. So We'll get back to the brother if he comes back. I see him disconnecting, so maybe he's doing something. But yeah, man, people sitting up there.
That's not letting me re-add me, but I tried to re-add
Yeah, man, what are these people talking about here? Like, I see the brother trying to request to come back up. Now you know damn well, black people. If we actually, it's one thing if our spending power, but we don't have that. If we need to have 2 trillion in the goddamn bank amongst us, and then you're talking about something. Not talking about when I get paid, and after 2 weeks of being paid, my whole damn paycheck is gone. I'm just trying to make it through the rest of the month or the next week after that or something like that. I mean, by the skin of our teeth are we making it. So come on, bro. Like, I mean, this man, he's an intelligent man to sit up here and just say some nonsense like that is just beyond just. Brother McCoo, I see you back. Then we're gonna get to the professor.
Yeah, I'm back, family. I don't know what was going on with this janky. Maybe because I'm in the hospital. But I was just going to address that. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but my attitude is great when my bills are paid. My attitude is great when I got extra change in my pocket. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, my attitude is horrible when my bills ain't paid. My attitude is worse to anybody. I don't care if they black or white. Worse to anybody when my money ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So all that crap about and spending power, I'm with Brother Ray on that. Spending power is just like pissing power. I got the power to piss. All of us got the power to piss. And we got the power to shit. So what does that mean? That doesn't constitute to nothing. Spending power doesn't constitute to anything. You have the power to spend your money. You got the power to breathe. You got the power to wipe your ass. So what are we going to brag on that too? See, with Umar, I'm going to tell you this. You need money for repair. I need money for medical repair. I need money for mental health repair. You know what I'm saying? None of this shit's free. You know what I'm saying? So when people start talking that crap like, well, I mean, what you need? I don't need no check. All we going to do is spend it on. I don't care what anybody spends their money on. If that's your repair, that's your repair. Because guess what? America ain't give it to us when they was raping us in slavery. They ain't give it to us when they was hanging us from trees and their loved ones was sitting there smiling and pointing and cutting off our ears for souvenirs and stuff like that. Come on. This is reality, and this happened in real life. That's something that's genetically been passed down to all of us. Genetic repair costs money, whatever that is, whatever it looks like. I need for us to stop being masters of self-sabotage. Our teachers were masters of self-sabotage when you say some shit like, well, I don't need no handout. Nigga, you was beat to nothing. What you mean you don't need no handout? Are you crazy? I need handouts and more. Because when I was born, I was suffering from so many mental impairments that I don't have a clue how many. All of us. You know what I'm saying? When somebody beats and rapes your mother, and they rape your father, and then your father reproduces and have you, guess what? You got that dick stuck in you too. Because that's psychologically and genetically passed down to you. So when they was cutting our ancestors' ears off and barbecuing them and announcing it like it was a game, come on, we can't forget that. I know I can. I dream about it every night. But I need repair from that. Whatever that repair looks like. It looks like 3 trillion, 4 trillion, 20 trillion. I need that. And I don't care how you feel about it, because you didn't care how I felt about it or how my ancestors felt about it when your ancestors was raping and killing them. I'll land there.
Yeah, let me just add this part right here too, Brother McCoo, because you made a great point. I guarantee you, if they would have been sitting up here and you had the European power saying, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna give Africa, we're gonna just give the west coast of Africa $100 trillion, Umar would not be sitting up here talking about, well, you know that they in such bad shape and they don't have any infrastructure and they don't have this and they don't have that. He'd be sitting up there applauding it. But the simple fact they said Black Americans, I don't know what it is about Black Americans. I guarantee if they had went to the islands, the Caribbean, and set up and said, we're going to give Jamaica X amount of dollars. We're going to give Haiti X amount of dollars. He wouldn't have set up here and said, you can't get them that. They haven't been doing this. Their families are destroyed. They this and that. They hate each other. Yada, yada, yada. It's just like it's only reserved for Black Americans. I guarantee you, if they had set up here and said, we're going to give Haiti or we're going to give the blacks in the Caribbean trillions of dollars, Umar would not have set up here and went off like that. That kind of hatred is reserved strictly for Black Americans. I don't know why it is with our people, but it's reserved strictly for Black Americans. There would have been not one Pan-African in the world set up here and say, you know what, we can't give Africa that because Africa Africa was left out of the revolutionary when everybody was doing industrialization and everything and building and this and that. Africa's 100 years behind. We shouldn't give them that because they're just going to go ahead and waste that. Nobody would sit up here and say anything like that. But to sit up here and say that about Black Americans, that, you know what, basically we too wasteful and we too stupid to get this kind of money. All we're gonna do is give it back to the people that we got it from. You know, that to me, that's just a little bit, you know, I can't go along with that.
That sounds like a ridiculous argument anyway when you really think about it, because even if we were gonna give it back to you, why would you be against us giving you money back? That doesn't make any sense.
No, I guess what he
that money that we're going to build, we're actually going to do something that they can't do. That's what they're really afraid of, because it doesn't make any sense. If I know I'm going to give you a whole bunch of money, I'm just going to get it back. Why the fuck would I be against it? I mean, realistically, you could be like, hey, we solved the problem. We gave you money. You gave it back. Hey, it's not on us anymore. We did the right thing.
And that's what he came up with. That's what he's trying to say. I guess he's trying to say that we don't have any infrastructure and this and that. He started sitting up here talking about Black women. What the hell does Black women perming their hair or dyeing their hair or doing whatever? What in the world does that have to do with goddamn giving reparations? Now, come on, stop it, man.
I think the correlation he was trying to make was saying that Black women waste their hair.
White women's. Listen, I get what he's saying, but white women sit up in tanning salons all day. But if this was some kind of feminist issue right here, nobody be sitting up there. Well, you know, they sitting up in tanning salons all day and they getting skin cancer and this and that. So why give them the money? All they're gonna do is go out there and tan themselves and kill themselves. And then, I mean, come on, stop it.
No, I agree with you 100%. I really do.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Like, what is the issue with Black Americans? Do they think that we have so much so we don't deserve reparations, whereas Africa is still struggling, and Haiti and Jamaica, and they're still struggling? I want to know what it is that all of these so-called Pan-Africanists have an issue with. Just strictly Black Americans saying we want our reparations that's due to us after all the tortures.
I want to know as well too, sister.
I honestly believe that.
Ray, let me real.
If we ever got that money, then their hustle will be over. They couldn't hustle us anymore at that point, because then we got our money, and if let's just say we did blow our money, what are they gonna say after that? They would kind of be out of a job.
Professor, go ahead and unmute your mic real quick. I see you got your hand back up.
Yeah, thank you, that Newstoter. Good to see you there, Ray, man, and DJ, man. Always good to see you, brother. Brother McCoo, what's up with your brother? Sister No Taxation without reparations. And then Sister Black Native up in the house. There she is, looking different in the new profile picture. I see Sister Aunt Lai. Good to see you. And Sister Goddess Michelle down there, Matrix. Sister I Am Rera. Good to see all of y'all up in the space tonight. I just want to speak on this Jerry Jones. I guess you could really tie Jerry Jones and Stephen A. together. Stephen A., #1 coon right now in media, as far as I am concerned, and has been for a long time. When I was sitting and watching him on ESPN the other day, as he was trying to cape for a white male who has been a white supremacist for years, because I think Jerry Jones is like in his mid-80s now, I think. And he hasn't changed, by the way. What we saw in that picture, and I believe the picture was from 1957. He was 14 years old or 15 years old. Stephen A., of course, said on the show that why would we be complaining about this from 65 years ago? And he's basically talking about how he is very fond of this white supremacist male, Jerry Jones. The very same Jerry Jones that helped to blacklist Colin Kaepernick, who was standing up against police brutality and racism. This is your Jerry Jones still today, everybody. But Stephen A. Smith was caping for this white male supremacist. This is what we have going on in America, y'all. Now, I know Stephen A.'s family is from an island, and I can't remember which one. I think it's like St. Croix and those islands out there. It's like a conglomerate of all of them together, I think. And I guess he was born here in America. So I guess that gives him the right to speak on Black American issues. Wrong. You are not allowed to speak on Black American issues, especially when you're cooning. We don't want to hear from you. We don't want to hear from none of you idiotic coons. That includes Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, Stephen A., Candace Owens, all these fuckers that keep coming up, cooning and talking on Black American issues. We need to remove these people from everything. And we need to really just go in hard on them. Anytime they say something stupid, we need to write in and complain. And I mean, I'm talking about we pile in the emails at ESPN on Stephen A. for that coon shit that he's talking, caping for that punk ass Jerry Jones, the very racist that is still carrying on today, is trying to stop Black people from gaining any kind of power in this country. That is Jerry Jones, the 14-year-old or the 15-year-old that's in that picture that Stephen A. is caping for, is still doing the same shit today. These white supremacist males don't change, y'all. They haven't changed. They have not changed. Now, if you don't believe that, you look at the one that's up there in the office right now, that's the president of the United States, because he's around the same age as Jerry Jones. All these folks are the same. You know, just tell it like it is. They all the same. And I'm sick of seeing Black faces like this Stephen A. talking on Black American issues like they speak for us. Like, we're wrong for speaking out against these motherfuckers. That's right. Stephen A., we need to start going after people like him, Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, Candace Owens, any other ones like that, Diamond and what's them two females that be caping for the Republicans? Diamond and Silk. Yeah. All these fools, man. We need to start writing in and just loading down with emails complaining about how they are showing their anti-blackness. They're Black, but they showing anti-blackness caping for these white supremacists. And I'm sick of seeing this shit. By the way, I already wrote an email to ESPN about Stephen A. I did it already. And I'm going to do it again. Because I don't like his coon ass. There you go. I land my plane there.
My man Umar also said that reparations came from Pan-Africans. Like, what in the world was he talking about on that one? Like,
yeah, he was retarded on that one, totally, because ain't no reparations come from no Pan-African movement. I'm so sick of Umar Johnson and his broken promises and his I'm the godfather or godson of Pan-Africanism. Man, get the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying? He don't know half of nothing about but he don't know nothing about, but y'all don't never hear him mentioning nothing about the first language of the earth. I don't never hear him mentioning nothing about the traditions that our ancestors did over at Meritar, aka Africa. This nigga don't know half of the shit that he claimed he know. You know what I'm saying? And it's not me hating on another man or another black man, but I hate it when you got a master of self-sabotage. He is a master of self-sabotage. He is the type of nigga that'll tell you, just like he's telling us now, we don't need reparations. We need to repair ourselves first. How the fuck you gonna repair yourself if you don't have money? If you don't have the very damn thing that it costs, that you need to pay for all services here, what the hell are you talking about? Where's repair going to come from? When a person gets raped, when a woman gets raped, you don't say to that woman, all right, well, go home and repair yourself. No, you take her ass to a hospital and you get her treated. You check her vaginal canal. You make sure she's straight. You give her repair. We ain't never have our canals checked. We ain't never get no damn repair. So when Umar says that and when other black people say that, I just look to him and I just tell him, brother, can you please just be quiet? Because you're speaking in circles and you're not even making logical sense. Fuck sense, you're not even making logical sense. Repair coming from a person that's been damaged. How the fuck can we repair ourselves? What, we predators now?
Yeah, I know he totally lost me when he started sitting up here talking about black women hair and this and that. I mean, and I'm gonna kick it to you, Black Native, real quick. But does Umar not realize that black women was treated so bad by the mainstream America that they couldn't even get a job with their own natural hair, that they had to go ahead and start putting these relaxers and dyes and everything else on it because of the natural texture of hair was not accepted by white men? I mean, so the simple fact that, yeah, over time they got used to wearing their hair that way because it was the cultural norm. I mean, now you're starting to see sisters wear their hair naturally. And what the hell does hair got to do? What if a sister has a bald head like Michael Jordan? Should she not get reparations? What in the hell does hair have to do with damn reparations? I mean, that to me, you sitting up here, you talking about reparations is coming from the There was no Pan African when damn slavery ended. There were no Pan Africans sitting up here talking about reparations. Okay, stop it, stop. And your damn hair. And I don't care if a brother wears his pants off his ass. I don't want to see him walking around with his pants off his ass. But does that mean he shouldn't get reparations? No. So I really don't even understand. To me, that was just, hey, it looked like Umar was trying to get a little attention there, or whatever. You got enough attention, you got enough followers, you got a big enough name, man. I don't see why you would want to go ahead and throw that under, just throw everybody's work on the ground like that. Black Native, go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep reiterating that Umar got his reparations, which was $3 million from the black community, and still hasn't produced the school. Okay, I guess we should have told him you don't need no money. You know what I'm saying? You could repair the school by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't need money from the people. If you could do it by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why I said he sounds like a hypocrite. And when he said that the Pan Africans were the ones who started reparations, and the other dude agreed with him, that shows that whatever our people say, if they don't have any knowledge or information of what's really going on, you can fall for anything. Because he was like, "Yep, they sure did." You ain't hear the brother say that, and I'm like, when is Pan Africanists ever spoke about reparations? When? What year? When? And who are these people?
Never.
Right. Where are these people at? Because the only thing I see is them speaking about we all should get a check. We all in this together type stuff. No, we ain't all in this together. But we're going after the United States government. That's who we're trying to get our reparations from, because those were the people who sanctioned chattel slavery. And that's the United States government. Jamaica could go to the UK and get their money from them. Africa could sue the whole European nation and get back the stuff that they stole from them, the statues, the gold. That's their prerogative, but they don't have nothing to do with our claims in this country. And for some reason, it's like you said, whenever it comes to Black American people, it's all of this other shit that comes along with it. When they didn't say that, right now to this day, the Jewish community still receives reparations from the United States government. We didn't have anything to do with that, but they get a check every year in the billions. You know what I'm saying? So it only seems like we're talking about we need repair. We haven't been repaired. And if Umar Johnson, he is a doctor, you know what I'm saying, I know that his credentials are true, but when is the last time he taught, like a school or anything? But he should understand what has happened to our people.
That's allegedly my opinion.
Hey, real quick, DJ, because Black Native, like, you might want to mute it when you talk, because like it's gonna have a feedback when she's talking too. So
I'll land my plane. Thank you.
oh no, sister, you could go ahead. You sure you done?
Nah, you can go ahead, sis. I was just saying. I know you got that might be your Bluetooth, sis, or whatever you got to hear me saying, but I'm just saying that that's still allegedly in my opinion because anybody could copy a school certificate document and put their fucking name on it. You know what I'm saying? Where's your transcripts at? I've never seen no transcripts. You show us a document that's a diploma, but where your transcripts at? You know what I'm saying?
And bro, shouldn't all these other races had to pay reparations to us too? Because they were accessories while we were enslaved. Them motherfuckers stood around and let it happen. Some of them came and participated. So these other races like the Jews and all these other races, the Asians, the Chinese, they were accessories to a crime. They were accessory to us getting lynched.
Right, just like those folks in the picture. What's the name of the show again? Accessory to what?
Accessory to crime. But look, check it out. Anybody want to see that picture? Anybody want to see those pictures? It's the book called Without Sanctuary. I get it for my children when they turn 15, so I can let them see right out what they up against. You know what I'm saying? Because my daughter mother tried to send her up McDaniel College. Now I know y'all know what McDaniel College is, but it's an all-white college surrounded by goddamn old plantations. I was warning my daughter, like, look, you don't want to go up here. She was like, well, Daddy, my mother. So I took her up there, and I was showing her, look, that was a plantation. That was a plantation, had black people on it, whipping them. This was a plantation. Make a long story short, she was up at college for 2 fucking years. She called me one day in the middle of my work day, crying, Daddy, I don't want to be up here no more. I just want to come home. I had to run up Westminster like 2 hours away and go get my baby, man. Because I told her, I said, see, I was trying to warn you, but you wanted to do what your mother said. This is what fathers need to do, man. We need to guide our children. And if the woman don't want to fucking listen, hey, or if you're a woman that's trying to, guide your man and they don't want to listen, you got to show them up, man. You got to show them. You know what I'm saying? When I showed my daughter that, she ain't set foot up there no more, man. She went to a HBU surrounded by people that look like her. You know what I'm saying? We need to get out of this thing of, not wanting to be around people that look like us, man. Because when you surround yourself with your enemy, this is the result you get. Umar Johnson that robbed us for $3 million and still ain't never produced what he said he was going to produce with it. And nobody holding him accountable.
Real talk, y'all. Real talk. I'll say this right here. When Umar had that money, Umar, instead of, if I know he wanted to go ahead and I don't know what his plans were in terms of the school or whatever, but down here, I can tell you when we've had schools where, you ran out of room and stuff, you just start getting a bunch of portables and stuff like that and having kids in there. Like he could have got a few portables and went ahead and still had his school or whatever till he could have got it on ground, got more money built or whatever, and just started doing more construction. So, like I say, I guarantee you Umar would not have told CARICOM or he would not have told the African Union anything like he just said about black people, black Americans in this country, about us not deserving this basically, or we're not a sound mind and body basically to go ahead and handle this or that. So I like I say, that to me, I really didn't even understand what he was talking about on that. Original, go ahead and unmute your mic.
I just want to say this: the Jews they was involved in slavery. You had Peter Benjamin. He worked. There were several of them that worked with the Confederacy.
It was Judah Benjamin, Judah P. Benjamin.
Judah P. Benjamin. Yeah, sorry about that. And then you had Aaron Lopez, and let's not forget Dr. Leonard Jeffries was hauled into court because he was teaching that the Jews was involved in slavery, and they got mad and tried to get him fired. that and whatever. They don't want to have that conversation. That's why they pissed off at Kyrie and Kanye. So I'm like, nope, I'm not letting anybody out. Just like the brother who said, you got to teach folks who these people really are, because if the children don't know, the children have to be taught properly, because they'll end up repeating the same thing and thinking that these Jews are somehow so-called special or chosen, and they just some stink white folks that came from the Caucasus Mountain. That's it. And as far as Umar, how long has it been since Umar been building that school? 20 years now? 15, 20 years? You have
like 16 and a half, bro.
I'm 16 and a half. See, you had Dr. Onion Palmer. He started the Montessori School. The first school was built on 54th and Crenshaw. Then he built and I think they still own that building. Then he built the new school over there on Slauson. And you got some black people who have started a black school in their living room, in their basement. Hell, some of them started on the front porch. And you're going to tell me you've been waiting over 16 years and we don't see anything. You go on radio talking about, now you got to get the HVAC this. You got to get, and he claiming that, I guess he's trying to say he gets black folks to do it. But what I find odd is all these tethers, they come out here making all these excuses why we can't get reparations. It's because they are not included. And I'm like, that is not my fault. No, reparation cannot be done by race. It has to be done by lineage. And they don't understand, that's not my problem. Because now we have to start marketing these people. Every time they open their mouth and let them know, you do not speak for the Black American freedom. We have to make sure we delineate for them and let them know you're not that. And he said in that video, his ancestors came from Cuba. Okay? And see, here's another issue. A lot of these Pan-Africans, they love to big up Castro in Cuba. Now, I'm grateful and thankful that our sister Asada was able to get there and remain free. But the truth be, what was that book? Robert F. Williams, the Negroes with Guns. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, when Robert F. Williams, he had to leave America. He went to Cuba. And it wasn't Castro specifically, but I do wonder if he knew something about it. But Robert F. Williams was trying to get a message out in Cuba, but he was being sabotaged by people who were closely, connected to Castro. And then he ended up going to China, and that's how he was able to get back into the country, because I think his mother had transitioned, and the Chinese said, well, if you don't let him back into this country and whatever, then we're not going to do this with you. And so that's how he was able to get back in, because these tethers are something else. They cannot be trusted. They do not speak for us, and they are not a part of us. And we have to call them out, like the Stephen A. Smith and anybody else. It's like Black Alpha Network said, ain't no more flat black. We're not doing that anymore, because it doesn't get us anywhere. The Pan-Africans have pushed that for a decade. And, there was people fighting like Sister Rilla always talked about, Cali House. No, we're not accepting this from you all. And if you don't like it, hey, we don't give a damn, because once you don't speak for, and what was that, Black Professor said, we need to start going in on these people and sending them, hell, I may have to revise that postcard with them pictures of the lynchings on it and tell them and send it to these people saying, look, why are you allowing these black folks to assist white folks in lynching us? That's technically what it is. It's a lynching.
Brother Original, we got to load those emails down, man. We're going to send emails out to anybody that's talking against us. We're gonna load them down, man, against these coons like that idiot Shaquille O'Neal, that other one Charles Barkley, and that Stephen A. We just gonna start going in on them, man.
Oh yeah, I want to help with that, y'all.
Yeah, we need to, y'all. We have to do that because these people think they can get on TV and just say anything against us.
Very true. Very true.
Very true. I concur.
All right.
I land with that.
No doubt, original. I'm glad you came up in the space, brother. As always, glad you came up in the space, brother McCool. I put your little ones on pitch up in the jumbotron, man. I put the little ones pitch up in the jumbotron. So if y'all get a chance, y'all check out brother McCool's precious little baby girl, beautiful baby. So y'all go ahead and y'all check her out up in the jumbotron. Once again, we got a new addition to the family. So congratulations to this brother and his family.
Every time I see reparations, she smile.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Leon, what's good?
Real quick, can I go to something really off top? I just want to talk to Brother McCool really quickly about something.
Real quick, Ray. Let me just because Leon had his hand up for a minute, so let me get to Leon real quick and then go ahead.
I DM him.
Okay, Leon, go ahead and unmute your mic.
How you doing, Newstoter, Ray, PI, Professor? This is a good topic tonight. I've been listening, and man, Professor, you on point, man. You're right. These blackface coons, we got to start, like you said, start emailing to their handlers. No, they don't speak for us, and you are so absolutely right. I listened to the first one that Stephen A was crying, and then I saw the other video that he doubled down on. I'm like, yo, what the hell's wrong with this dude? I mean, I know what's wrong with him. I mean, don't get me wrong, but to say that, that was 65 years ago and all that shit. Well, let me tell you something. When you are a 14-year-old, you are at that pivotal point of that early part of your teenage life that you are starting to mend things that's going to be in your mind for the rest of your life as you walk as an adult. So all that poison was already sitting in then. He wasn't going to change. Look how he moves now. Not only not hiring a damn black coach, he don't even interview it. Dennis Green was like the last one he interviewed over the phone. So so you already know where his intentions are at. And for Stephen A, yeah, I know I think he's Bahamian, but that doesn't matter. He don't speak for us because the way he's speaking for himself. Then you need to be by yourself. You don't speak for us. But like the whole Pan-African movement, I don't know like how much of y'all did y'all research going way back before like the 1800s, back with Garvey and the HUNI. Their whole mission was to take black people and migrate to Africa. That was the whole original Pan-African movement. But now it seems like bits and pieces have changed. But I still think their main thing is all of us going to Africa. But the problem with that is not all of us were born and raised in Africa. I did my lineage back to the 1800s. I still have found on both sides of my family, and my grandparents on both sides, all the way back to my greats on both sides. There's no plantation. There was zero plantation records on both sides. Zero anything that said that any of my ancestors were from another country. They're all from the soil. So all I can say is I'm from the soil. So why the hell would I want to go somewhere I'm not from? You know what I mean? This is my land. You know, so I mean that's just where I'm at. And I'll land there and thank you for letting me talk, Newstoter. Shout out to you, man.
No problem, Leon. You're always welcome up in the space, brother. Appreciate having you up in here. Ray, go ahead.
I want to direct him out to the Jumbotron. This dude, Chuck Mondai, he had a very interesting quote. He said, remember that in 1954, Brown versus the Board of Education was put into law. And one of the ways white people for years would fight against that law was through mob action. And Jerry Jones was part of that. I need to see it. I seen his comment about Colin Kaepernick. I see the fact that he has never had a black coach. I see him donating half of $1 million to Governor Greg Abbott's campaign. That doesn't sound much like he's changed much since 1957. I land there.
And Ray, to add into what you just said, this punk motherfucker, Jerry Jones, excuse my French, everybody. Jerry Jones, remember, also said, and I'm going to see if I can quote it exactly how he said it back during the demonstrations with Colin Kaepernick. He said, if any of my players demonstrate, they will automatically be removed from the team. Now, I think that's exactly how he said. Now, tell me if I'm wrong, but I do remember him saying that.
Say that one more time.
Yeah, he was against the kneeling.
Yeah, against the kneeling. He said that any of the players demonstrate or kneel, they will be removed from the team, automatically removed. And if you think back to that, that tells you right there that this guy is not about change. He's trying to keep things the same. Okay.
What was that guy? I cannot remember his name, but he was the owner of the Knicks, and he got caught talking real crazy about black people.
Donald Sterling.
Donald Sterling. Yeah, he needs to be added to this conversation too.
Yes, exactly. It's a lot of these owners, y'all.
The owner of the Clippers, bro.
Yeah, he was a Clippers.
The Clippers. But if y'all, the New York Knicks, I think you said New York Knicks.
Yeah, don't put my knickerbockers in there. We already trash.
Hey, but you know what? Ray is actually on the money though, because majority of these owners in the NBA or the NFL don't give a shit about Black Americans. Okay, these folks are not trying to do anything to uplift our communities. Now they
have a track record. They have a track record of doing this too.
Yep, exactly. So these folks are not trying to uplift the community. And Jerry Jones is nobody. You know, as far as I can remember, since I've been watching the Dallas Cowboys, I have never seen Jerry Jones do anything. I just can't think of anything that he's done really to help the Black community. Now, I know they mentioned something about he hired, I think, a few blacks in the executive positions of the organization. I don't know exactly how many, but he hasn't interviewed any black coach. He has never hired a black coach. He's got a lot of black players, but we know why he's got a lot of black players. So has he put any money into our communities to help uplift our situation against the police brutality? Has he done that?
He ain't done a damn thing. But I want to add this in too. Yes, he's making them millions, but they're making him billions.
Yes, exactly. They're making him billions, and he's not trying to change everybody. This man is still the same old redneck, racist, Ku Klux Klansman that we have known him to be since he was 15 years old in that picture. Okay? So Stephen A., dick-sucking lip motherfucker, because that's what he is. And that makes reference to my boy Nas, by the way, dick-sucking lips that he told Jay-Z. Well, that's what I'm going to say about that punk motherfucker Stephen A. That's right, man. You got that dick-sucking lip. That's what you are, Stephen A. And we tired of coons like you sitting up there like you was about to cry. Like, did y'all see that Negro, y'all? He was up there acting like he was about to cry on the show. Talking about, I can't believe Steven Django. I know, right? Like, this dude sitting up there like he just all upset because we going in on Jerry Jones, man. That's what we supposed to do. We supposed to go in on Jerry Jones. That's right.
Hey, Professor, insert the picture of Samuel crying over what's his name? Hey, but nah, that Nas reference, yes, sir. Hey, that's the most illmatic diss ever. 21 Savage. You was a tired nigga. We about to support you when Trump get back in the office. We shouldn't have saved your ass. You know what I'm saying? Trump shouldn't have saved you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And I'm about to again, y'all. But let me just say, shout out to Sister Trouble down there. I see she came up in the space. Good to see you up in here, sister. And I see Sister Tony right there. Good to see you too.
They got the big sister taxation right there. What's going on, Sister Rerun? On live, Jersey. You know what I mean?
Alrighty.
How you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Alrighty, y'all. We're not gonna hold the space open too much longer, so we're gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap it down. I'm gonna go ahead and let the two speakers, the two co-hosts go ahead and get a final say in there. But I do appreciate everybody that came out to the space. I apologize for having to end the space shortly yesterday, but like I say, I'm doing caretaker work, so I had to go ahead and handle some issues and stuff. So I appreciate you guys coming out tonight, supporting the space as always. So thank you guys. We will definitely try to hold one again. We want to go ahead and do the Monday through Thursday, but my schedule is a little bit more hectic at this point. So I'm going to continue to go ahead and hold these spaces. Thank you for DJ for holding it down yesterday as well, too, while I was actually taking care of some personal business. So definitely appreciate him and Ray up in the spot, holding it down for us as always. So I'm going to let Ray and DJ go ahead and get a final word in. And DJ, I don't know if what y'all have to see what DJ might be exhausted from last night, y'all. So I don't know. I ain't going to say as DJ if he go do another space because.
Let's get it.
Well, Ray, you got it. Go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say my last thoughts is you know they say a leopard never changes its spots. An expression sometimes also used to say that it's basically the idea that no one can change their innate nature. So what's going on, Jerry Jones? It's his innate nature to be like this. I mean, if you just look around, family, look at the NFL. How many owners are black? They got 32 teams, I believe. Not one of them are black. Look at the NFL. Look at all the major sports. Yes, they let us participate only because we make money off of them. That's why they tolerate us. But it's not like they're doing this out of the kindness of their heart. This is a business exchange. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Obviously, the whole CadenSmith situation. Nothing surprises me anymore about that. I mean, triple murder, and you're out on bond, and you're out here running around and, allegedly doing all this other craziness and stuff. Nothing surprises me anymore about what I hear. Stephen A., I'm not even going to touch on that. We already know he's Sambo, people from the Virgin Islands. So I'm not saying something against people from the Virgin Islands, but I know we do have some of the riders. But this one he's been cooning on air for 20-some years. And Dr. Umar, what he said was just patently false. I just cannot agree with what he's saying because whether he agrees with reparations or not, it was extremely off code to call black people sick who mismanage their money. That's like really projection. That's like you're not paying your employee because you're going to buy weed and jewelry. That money is old, motherfucker. Either way, he needs to mind his own damn pockets.
Real talk. DJ, you got it.
Hey, man, get in the Jumbotron. That's it. That's all I got to say. Be honest. You know what I'm saying? Umar User Cone, Dr. Cone Johnson, you know what I'm saying? That's your new name. And you ain't never going to build no FDMG Academy. Shout out to our sister, the Reparationist Perspective. She got 300 videos on ScrewTube talking about reparations, 2 to 10 hours of video. So if anybody should be getting donations to build a school, it should be our sister. And I'll yield it. Good night, y'all.
Hey, real quick, Leon, I know you're talking about Pan-Africanism real quick. Look up in the Jumbotron because I was talking about Chief Alfred Sam and how he basically finessed black people to get on a boat and go to Africa or whatever. Talking about there was diamonds in the ground and the trees were producing bread and all this other crazy shit. So, yes, I do know. I know a little bit about Pan-African history. If you want to look at that, bro. And I'll land right there. I promise that's my last word.
Hey, Ray, I'm gonna hit you with this acronym. I want y'all to remember this. Pan-Africanism is dead. That's it.
No, yeah, real talk, y'all. Like I said, once again, I appreciate everybody coming into the space tonight as always, and thank you for those that shared out. Y'all make sure that article about CadenSmith, man, y'all go ahead and y'all retweet that out for everybody to see that. This cat, the white kid or white man, I should say, he's 18 now, 18 years old, allegedly 3 murders, and he's out with a damn GPS monitor on his leg and whatnot. So y'all make sure y'all definitely even though we talk about Stephen A. Smith and Jerry Jones and Dr. Umar, that is very pressing right now. So y'all go ahead and try to get the word out, tweet it out as much as possible. People share it just so they can see the actual double standard that we always talk about in these spaces. You can actually see it. That's why everybody in this space makes up the new black media. We're just the curator of the platform and stuff, but the actual people in here that do the work, that's actually spreading the message and stuff like that. You are the actual new black media. Everybody that's sitting up in this space is part of it. So we need to go ahead and get that coalition form. And that's something that we can do free of charge. To go ahead and tweet that out. Let people know exactly what's going on. Let them see exactly what's going on with this whole situation here. This is beyond crazy. This is beyond mad. They're trying to go ahead and get his boy a slap on the wrist to another Kyle Rittenhouse, and they don't want him to serve any kind of time. Trying to find a way to throw it out, get it out of there as much as possible. So hopefully he's dumb enough that he'll go ahead and he'll keep doing stupid stuff that eventually he'll trip himself up. Because if the actual white supremacist judicial system has anything about it, they'll go ahead and they'll give him a lollipop and send him on his way. So once again, thank all you guys. We know Dr. Umar sits up here and this stuff right here, and some of the stuff Dr. Umar says, I agree with. I think that he's a passionate brother. I think that he has some good points and talking points, but this was not one. For him to go in on the reparation movement the way he did and slice it and dice it the way he did and dissect, like I said, if that same question was asked to him about CARICOM and the African Union, he would have never said that. So to single out his own people over in this country, that was disheartening. So Stephen A., Jerry, Stephen A., anything that's going to go against Black America, Stephen A. and Charles Barkley and the rest of them, they're pretty much all in that same group and stuff. So, and Jerry Jones has been Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is a rich billionaire who got in the NFL in the 1980s, bought the Dallas Cowboys, and pretty much is used to having his way and stuff. So it's not surprising that even though he was 14 at the time of that pitch, it's not surprising. We know the era he came up. We know the people and everything else. We know the viewpoint they have of Black people. So let's not pretend ourselves because people on TV or they might own a popular, supposedly America's team and all this other nonsense that he's anything different than what we already know. So once again, y'all, thank y'all for coming to the actual Twitter space. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless something changes, but you guys will see the tweets out. I'll send DMs and I'll also tweet it out. So if you guys see it, go ahead and please retweet it as much as you can. Let your people know that we hold these intelligent Twitter spaces in here and everybody's welcome to come in here and request a mic and speak. So I definitely appreciate you guys. Make sure you're following us on YouTube as well. That's up in the Jumbotron tomorrow. I'm going to try to keep the Jumbotron a little bit cleaner so everybody can find actual links to the newsletter and the YouTube channel and go to it. Because right now, when you got 30 different links in there, it's kind of hard for people to sort through it. So we'll definitely try to keep that a little bit cleaner tomorrow. Support us if you can on Cash App. That's $Newstoter, $Newstoter, the largest Black-owned news curation platform today in America. And once again, thank everybody for coming out to the Twitter space, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless.
That's up. Reparations up.